You know, friends travelling around Australia, it's typical, right? It's normal. It's a typical backpacker story. Recently, 3 British friends did something just a little different, wearing nothing but a garbage bag. Anne Race and her 2 mates journeyed around Oz, all in the name of charity.
Now, together they travelled 8.5 months without any of their possessions. Instead, they relied solely on the kindness of strangers to provide food, clothing and shelter. The journey is over, and to tell us how it went, we're joined by Anne Race. Good morning to you.
Good morning, hi.
Hi. Now, travelling around the country without any possessions, it seems, you know, a little crazy. How did it come about? Where'd you come up with the idea?
Oh yes, it is a bit of a crazy idea. I'd been living out in Japan for 3 years and came out here for a bit of a holiday. Had a terrible disaster with my hard drive containing all of my pictures and anything I'd ever written for the last 5 years, and it was such a disaster for me, and went through a little bit of a mourning process about these lost photos that I could never get back. And just to try and make myself feel better, I was thinking, you know, there's people so much worse off than me, people who lose everything in fire and floods. And I had a bit of an epiphany. What if I actually did give up absolutely everything and see how that would, how I would be able to live like that? And had an idea to travel the whole way around Australia to try and raise money for a children's charity called Book Aid International. And to do that, I roped 2 guy friends into this, and they were wonderful, and we pretty much gave up absolutely everything we had and vowed to remain penniless for the whole journey around Australia. And we raised money for the charity by doing various different jobs around the country and handing over every single cent of our wages to Book Aid.
Man, you make that garbage bag look good. Your friends and family, were they supportive, or did they just think you were nuts?
They thought we were mad, absolutely crazy. We ran the idea by a few Australians, and we learned a new phrase called buckleys. We didn't know what that meant before, but we certainly know what it means now. But I mean, it really wasn't the case. We managed to do it. It took us 8.5 months, and we had the support from so many wonderful Australians who helped us out along the way.
Yeah, and you need to tell me. You need to tell me how you actually, like, how did you sleep? How did you eat? Like, how did all that come about?
Yeah, well, we were very lucky in the very beginning. A wonderful company called Wicked Campers donated a fantastically painted caravette to us, and we were given a few tents. So sometimes we would sleep and travel in our caravan, in our tents. Sometimes, and very often, Australians would invite us 3 strangers into their homes and, you know, put us up and feed us and shower us and offer us work with donations to go to the charity. Sometimes we'd be put up in hostels and hotels, so it was a whole array of different kinds of accommodation that we stayed in. Sometimes we'd have to stay on the side of the road when we couldn't quite find anywhere to stay. But we had such a wonderful adventure trying to travel 25,000 kilometres without spending a cent on fuel. And if you can imagine, that is a huge number of road stations and service stations that helped us out, and very often roadhouses would donate fuel to us without us having to work for it, which was great. It was fantastic.
Now, you relied on those people, and they were very good. Do you remember the first item that you were given by a stranger, or the first reaction? You can tell us now.
Yes, I've got this wonderful image in my head of when we were in Brisbane. We had a bit of a derobing ceremony where we had to give up our clothes and our wallets and our credit cards and our watches, everything. And we put on these garbage bags just to show, you know, we really have given up everything. And lots of people were coming up to us and saying, "What are you guys doing? What are you doing?" And a guy came up to Phil, one of the guys we were travelling with, and took off the thongs from his own feet, handed them over to Phil, and then walked off down the street barefoot. It was such a wonderful moment, and from then on we thought, actually, this trip might just be possible.
It might just work. So that's the generosity of Aussies for you. They came to your aid, and it's fascinating. Job well done.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. You're a brave woman. Yeah. A lot braver than I would be.
The guys and I are just thinking maybe you can wear a garbage bag tomorrow on the show.
I'd rather wear the garbage bag than the thong.
Oh, well, I'll give you my thong if you wear the garbage bag.
For more on Anne Race's